What we did back in 1776 was lay that foundation that should not be changed or altered. And I think it's important for folks like myself to be able to stand up and say that, because when we criticize what was not perfectly done but gave us the outcome we were looking for, we truly put ourselves backwards.
Well, and you talk about 1776 and these founding principles that are consistent with a Judeo-Christian perspective rooted in biblical truth. Compare the mindset then with what we're experiencing now, especially with respect to Christians, the freedom that we have to share our faith, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Where does the church fit in today when it seems like that there are so many that want to, suppress our religious freedom?
Well, the church is under attack. I believe this is a spiritual war that we are under in America, and it goes back to what I said earlier. 97% of the gospel is preached from America, whether it's American dollars or American radio stations. So I believe there is a spiritual connotation as to why this division has been allowed to fester. And frankly, it's because people have lost their first love. Even church goers do not have that same time, talent, and temperament to serve God as He would seek for us to do. We have, because of all the distractions in the world, we've gotten away from reading our Bible. We've gotten away from devotions. Many people are unchurched today. And so it's really the church's finest hour, because we have that opportunity to re-engage with Christ in a way that has perhaps been lost, and really show what it means to walk out that grace, and as you said, embedded in our founding documents, that respect for all mankind. It's really a time for us like no other.
Lisa Babbage joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio. It is the 2022 National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Nashville. Lisa, it's time for the lightning round, our last few moments together here at NRB. And like I mentioned earlier, God has opened doors for you. You mentioned the I Choose Love campaign. There's also a homeless shelter that you're involved in. So give us a little background on that and what you do.
So Maranatha House Ministries was formed back in 2011, and it was really the result of a childhood dream. Younger brother and I and my mother were homeless as a child when my parents divorced, and we came to Atlanta, and we experienced homelessness numerous times. Even most recently in 2015, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, lost everything I had as a result of the medical expenses. And that heart to make sure that folks who are experiencing homeless, our unhoused community as people like to call it now, make sure that those folks were not forever impacted by the trauma of not having that security has just always been on my heart. So what we do is the proceeds of all of my books go to Maranatha House Ministries. We deal with women and children. So we're looking at the family unit, and we want to offer them not just a hand out, but a hand up. So we started with a feeding outreach. It has grown to temporary housing. Ultimately, we'll be doing a transitional housing that gives women a year to kind of reestablish themselves. And that includes re-education curriculum, counseling, tutoring, everything that family needs to be able to stand on their own 2 feet.